we're talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 because there is a big leaked report from Bloomberg that apparently says Nintendo cannot sell this thing. In fact, they're actually about to cut their sales forecast by 30%.
Oh!
Now, a lot of subscribers have been sending me this article saying, this is legit, this is fake.
Oh,
this
no,
is
it's
journalist
legit.
that just hates Nintendo. But
and I told you, Nintendo fanboys, this, man. You people weren't listening. That's why I was telling you that the software sales was low and how Nintendo did good initially because of the hype of the Switch 1. Oh, but it sold better initially. Just like that train stop that I told you that everybody got on and people just decided to stop going on the Nintendo train. GameStop, what another W, bro. I knew this from the beginning. I had live streams telling you Nintendo fanboys that the hardware sales are slowing up. But yet, y'all didn't want to listen to me, man. Oh, Gamesta's lying, talking about how he's seen 40 Switch 2s at his Target. They're flying off the shelves. People buying them like hotcakes. Just to find out that 30% less than what Nintendo expected. Let's go.
I almost feel like it does seem like the data lines up.
Ooh!
There have now been
Told y'all.
multiple months.
I don't know why y'all don't listen to me, man. You know, you guys wait so long, bro. Matter of fact, I should tell people that you can exclusively get... And I know the funny thing is these people's like, who is this Gamester guy? I told you, I'm the gaming prophet of the gaming industry. How do you guys keep continuing to argue with me when I come up with this information before people like him decide to release it? Or it needs to be... I told y'all this already. You couldn't tell by looking at the sales of Metroid Prime 4? The game could even eclipse 1 million with 160 million Switches, as well as a 17, at the time, additional Switch 2 owners, and you people acting like there was never no problem? Come on, man. You ain't got to be a rocket scientist to figure this out yourself. The only reason why you guys couldn't see it, because, oh, that's right, you're a fanboy. That's why.
Even this year, that the PlayStation 5 is outselling the Nintendo Switch 2. And I almost feel like there's multiple reasons for that. Just personally, anecdotally, talking to my friend group, looking around and stuff, it just feels like there's not really that sense of hype for the Nintendo Switch 2.
It really isn't.
The way there was for the Nintendo Switch 1.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, even now.
People bought the Switch 2 thinking it was going to be the next Switch 1. That's exactly what it is. So of course, all the Nintendo fanboys, those 17, 19 million fanboys that probably went out there and even bought the Wii U for crying out loud, of course y'all were the first people. Y'all were going to buy this regardless. But the point still stands when it comes down to the casual gamer or the one playing Fortnite or Roblox. You're not catering to that demographic. I told you guys, man, the train has stopped. And all y'all worried. I mean, with this, we're like, what? The Switch 2 is barely even 2 years old, and the sales are already declining? Like Airbox?
The stuff I play on, it's just Nintendo Switch 1 games, but with a bigger screen.
Oh,
and the
my.
fact that this thing is $500, I do think a lot of people are making that choice, where it's like, okay, do I want a $500 console
and game key cards
that's pretty decent graphics, or do I want to go?
There's one thing I noticed about the Switch, even though there's quite a few exclusives, is that the games that you're playing inferior versions to the games that you can play on PS5. Like, I bought this game, I thought it was an exclusive, and then I found out it was on Xbox. I'm like, why did I spend all this money? Well, I mean, obviously I paid the price of a Switch 1 for it, but why am I spending all this money on Switch 2, right? When I can play the same games and better on an Xbox or a PlayStation 5. That's what made me realize, like, the Switch, but we got Assassin's Creed Shadow, it looked good. I mean, yeah, but it also looks better on Xbox, and I could buy it there for cheaper, mind you. I mean, that's the reason why the Switch 2, in my personal opinion, isn't really doing that well, like a lot of you guys want to keep claiming. I'm telling you, man, Nintendo's regretting this.
$550 and get a PlayStation 5, and everybody has a PlayStation 5. It feels like when I see stuff like Resident Evil...
Well, does Nintendo Switch 2 have Grand Theft Auto 6? What is your answer?
Requiem, recently that came out, it already sold millions and millions of copies, and Capcom admits the primary place people are playing it is the PlayStation 5 by a huge margin. I can't help
Well,
but
we don't care about that, but people playing the game everywhere.
Think how many people made that decision? All right, I want Resident Evil Requiem. I'm excited for Resident Evil Requiem. I mean, it's cool that, Leon's coming back. Well, do I want to buy it on the PlayStation, or do I want to buy it on the Nintendo Switch 2? It's on both, but this thing's too expensive to take on the go. I do think that it's just the fact that the Nintendo Switch 2 doesn't have that FOMO must-have.
I mean, the PS5 you can't even take on the go. So what are you talking about? That's oh, this is too expensive to take on the go. What are you talking about? The PS5 you can't even take on the go.
Yet it doesn't have that giant Zelda. It doesn't have that giant Pokemon. It doesn't have that like crazy must-have Mario experience.
I mean, it does have Donkey Kong Bonanza, which they said was going to be the next Mario. At the end of the day, man, the Switch 2 just doesn't have that excitement. And you have to understand, guys, and when I throw this out there, I know rational gamers will, but Nintendo fanboys won't, is that when the Switch 1 came out, it was a successor to the 3DS. Now, compare the 3DS graphics to the Switch 1. You'd be like, damn, Capes, you're right. That was a huge improvement. That's like going from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2. Can we all agree? Okay, we all agree on that. Now go from Switch 1 to Switch 2. Now, mind you, there is some differences with some of the games that are not patched, but there's not that many noticeable differences, especially from the software that Nintendo's pushing out. A lot of the games that Nintendo's pushing out look like they could have came out on Switch 1. Even that new Yoshi game, which does look kind of interesting, that could have dropped on Switch 1 if Nintendo really wanted. Let's keep it up. Same thing with Kirby Air Riders. You people know this, right? So when people are looking at the Switch 2, even though it has more power, the specs is better, they're looking at the games and be like, hold on, but the games feel very much similar, especially the remasters the upgrade games you're doing, for crying out loud. Tears of Kingdom. Nobody's going to care about playing these games at 60 FPS. They really don't, besides the diehard Nintendo fanboy. That's just what it is, bro. The Switch 2 was purchased by diehard Nintendo fanboys, not casuals, bro. Casuals did not buy this system like you guys think, and that's why we're starting to hear about the sales and the software of the lowest expectations, because guess what? Hardcore Nintendo fans say what? We buy Nintendo for exclusives. So when you have third party, you're like, Gamester, you're too good at this. So when you got third party saying the third party sales of the lowest expectations, that means that the majority of the people that have bought the Switch 2 were hardcore Nintendo fans. Because what do they say? We buy the system for exclusives. We buy it for Nintendo games. And that's what they're supporting. They're not supporting the third party. And if they are supporting third party, they only want to support it on a physical cartridge. Gamester, what another W.
I'm still in that spot where if I'm taking something on the go, I'm still mostly carrying around my Nintendo Switch Lite, if I'm being honest. I mean, this thing is still able to play Vampire Survivors.
And you can get one of those for like $100.
And all the stuff I really, really like. And this thing is a lot cheaper. I spent $100 on this. I spent $500 on this. And I'll be honest, this thing, I'm still kind of in that mode where I'm like, I'd rather take this on the go, so if I lose it, I'm not crying and shaking.
That's true, because after when I got the Switch 2, I'm keeping it more as a docked console because I don't want to crack the screen because of how new it is. You see, so that he's right. He's absolutely right.
Okay, let's break that. Let's take a look at this article and see the 30% on weak U.S. sales.
Wow.
The company plans to make 4
which was actually the strongest
units, the flagship device this quarter, a third less than the 6 million it had originally planned to produce.
Wow.
The reduced output rate is set to continue in April. Now,
set to continue, which means that it's not getting any better, and the software that Nintendo got is not going to make the situation any better. I told you guys, we have another Wii U situation right here, and all y'all wanted to sit there and do is flame me. Dustin, I won. Oh yeah, remember, throw me my flowers. You know, me and Dusty, we go back and forth. But throw me my flowers, Dusty Road. I told you Nintendo fanboys this, man. But y'all didn't want to listen to me. Y'all didn't want to take what I said with actual merit because you believe he's an Xbox fanboy. He just hate Nintendo. I got a Switch 2 now. I feel like I got robbed even though I paid $300 for what the Switch 1 would have came when that dropped in 2017. There's nothing exciting about this platform, bro. Oh, yeah, but it is, though. Because you know why? Every third-party game that I see on this platform, which happens to be on a game key card and more likely on a disc on Xbox and PlayStation 5, right? Those games play better. So I have these devices already, so I'm like, why would I want to play these games on my Switch 2? I don't have a desire like I did. And you got to remember, the 3DS gamer, they upgraded to the Switch 1. Switch 1 going to Switch 2 is not that big of a difference. And it might be there within the specifications, but only the third party is showing it, which those games play better elsewhere. So yet again, the Switch 2 doesn't really have a market appeal for anything. And that's why people haven't upgraded to it.
Oh, this thing, just at face value, a 30% cut is
Wow.
actually pretty drastic. But people have been pointing out this first, right? Weak U.S. sales. Now, I think it's pretty clear, and Nintendo has talked about this in the past. Nintendo thinks like America is a huge, important market. We are the people that buy the most games. A lot of times we make.
So to see this is very underwhelming, because then that also shows you what the it also shows us that it's even worse. And I like how he's just flaming Nintendo with a Mario Kart t-shirt. I mean, he chose the perfect t-shirt for this. But like I said, man, this is what it is, bro. I told you. And then you got to look forward to 2027, 28. How is Nintendo going to turn this around, bro? Okay? How are they going to turn this around? This is a Wii U situation. Those 17 million people or 19 or however how many people bought the Switch 2, those were die-hard Nintendo fans. I've had fanboys tell me it's going to outsell the Switch 1. No, it's not. No, it's not. You'd be lucky if this even gets 60 million, bro. I'm telling you, man, it's plateauing. And especially when that new Xbox and that PlayStation 6 comes out, that's what Nintendo needs to be worried about. Nintendo should not be losing 30% like this. Not at all. Especially with how well the system did initially. But like I told you, the train has stopped. It's yielded. I told y'all. Oh, y'all were looking. It started strong. But guess what? It's the turtle's the one winning the race here. Nintendo's the rabbit. You got to the finish line, and yet they can't go past the ribbon. And now the slow PlayStation 5 6-year-old turtle's walking behind with the hardware sales, and it crosses the ribbon. Nintendo was the rabbit. You went too fast for your own good, and now the sales are declining.
Some of the biggest, craziest games, obviously, are made in the United States. The U.S. market has been shrinking, and a lot of it just comes down to the fact that people are not buying games. It does feel like just in general, people...
Games to win another W. You know what the funny thing is? I just love watching these videos and being like, yeah, GameStop. I remember you did tell people ain't buying physical media. When y'all was out here, oh, people, Nintendo gamers, we buy physical media. We go to Walmart and then, yep. Look how far that got you. Another lie.
Got less money. People got less stuff of time to spend playing games and stuff like that. And a lot of times...
No, it's not that, because those same people spend thousands of dollars on Fortnite. The problem is they don't like your games. They don't care about your games. I even said that to Nintendo game. Nobody cares about your games, bro. You guys are a bunch of old heads. Yeah, Gears E-Day will do well, but that's because of its initial audience. But I'm not expecting a Fortnite gamer to play Gears of War E-Day. See, that's the problem with y'all. Y'all think y'all the bread and butter of the industry, when in reality it's the Fortnite and the Roblox. Those are the pillars of gaming. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness.
When people have been playing stuff, they're playing crappy free-to-play stuff.
You know what's so funny? This is like my first time watching. You see, it's funny how I said that, and you see, told you.
Fortnite, Marvel Rivals,
there you go.
PUBG, right? Those games are the ones that are making billions of dollars.
And who was saying this since the beginning? Ding, 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 ding. Good answer, Carl Gamester. And yet you guys, all you wanted to do was argue with me.
You can just pick up and play them for 30 minutes after a 10-hour shift. There's a lot of data that shows free-to-play games are now, unfortunately, like 85% of the entire gaming market profitability.
Yep.
And I just feel like most people, if they're playing those free-to-play games, they're playing them on their phone or they're playing it on the console they already have. You're not going out and buying a Nintendo Switch 2 to have better graphics for Fortnite.
But it's not even just that. Well, that too, of course. But they're also not buying it for that, what? That argument that you guys keep using. Exclusivity. That just shows you. Oh, Nintendo got... We told you. The casuals don't care, bro. Oh, but back in my day, 1990 was Super Nintendo. Oh, shut up already, bro. Exclusivity is dead. We already knew this. All this exclusivity talk about which platform is better, it doesn't matter no more. That's why Xbox is doing what they do, and they realize it doesn't matter anymore. Let's just sucker these dudes for all the profit we can make. While you guys sitting there gloating about which platform, I play on PC, I play on Xbox, I play on Nintendo. And guess what? The vast majority of gamers do not care, because they're playing Fortnite no matter which platform they're on, you big dummy.
Now, immediately, a lot of people are being like, well, give us 3D Mario. Give us Zelda. You know what it's just you're not selling the games that I like. But it just feels like that in general, there isn't that raw sense of, hey, it's time for the future of Nintendo.
I mean, there's no urgency. I mean, what future is that? Playing Breath of the Wild at 60 FPS? Playing Tears of Kingdom at 60 FPS? Like, that's what I'm saying. Look at the library of what you people are getting. And as much as I do enjoy Donkey Kong Bonanza, but honestly, I would have felt disappointed paying $500 for this, man. I'm just happy I got it for $300. All right? I'm just happy, bro, because if I had to spend any more, I think I would have been, honestly, I would have been pissed.
Just hasn't been that vibe. Now, a journalist that has been reporting on this for a bit, and he has gotten...
Yep, that's where the Nintendo fanboys going. You see that, Dustin? Come out of there, Dustin. What are you doing, Dustin? That's Dustin. Hey, Dustin, what you doing?
Amount of hate is this guy.
Yo, Dustin, what you doing? Oh, no, they don't want to hear Gamester. Oh, we was wrong again. Gamester was right.
One of the founders of Game Business, Editor-in-Chief.
He was right. I got to go back into that bush.
Noticed a lot of Nintendo fans. The biggest criticism people have of this article is that there is this long-term chart that essentially shows that they planned on selling about 19 million Nintendo Switch 2s throughout the course of 2026, and currently that number has not been lowered. So even if this is a 30% cut in April, maybe that just means they're shoring it up for other territories. Maybe it means that they're still trying to sell them more in Japan, or they're purposely trying to stockpile them in warehouses for an upcoming...
Which is hilarious, because remember when I brought up the Poketopia, and they were like, oh, Nintendo Switch 2 selling better, right? And I told people that it was only people that bought it that already had the Switch, just to find out that it sold 30% worse. Bro, you cannot make this up, man. You know, that's why I said, bro, stop being a fanboy, bro, and start looking at things like a neutral gamer. See, that's the problem with people. You know, y'all don't look at things as a neutral gamer. You look at things at the perspective of a fanboy. You call me an Xbox fanboy, I got all the devices. Okay? But you can't expect me to get mad because Xbox putting games elsewhere. I don't care. I'm the same dude telling Xbox to put games on my Switch too, because we need it. We need it just like you ponies do, because to be honest with you, y'all ain't got no games.
Shadow Drop game or something like that, right?
Xbox need to start putting some game the way the way the Xbox is putting games on PS5. They need to start doing it with the Switch too, or we're gonna have a wee like a cop car.
They're saying
Nintendo getting up. They got no games. They got nothing to play. It's like the wee like a cop car. Like a cop car. Sony got no games, and Nintendo got nothing to play. We thought we bought exclusive games, but we're here today telling we ain't pay for them game keys.
Currently, Nintendo is saying even if the numbers go lower here, the total at the end of the year is going to be the exact same. Another ridiculous negative Bloomberg article.
How's it going to be the same when they got a lack of games?
Nintendo after the company...
You should see what Nintendo got coming out this year, bro. Practically nothing. All the same type of games. Yoshi?
Published sell-through console rates in early February for the December holiday. Reaffirmed fiscal year guidance, and now consoles are selling out around the world after Pokopia. The author has been flat out...
More like copium.
On several occasions has been writing conflated negative ticks for years. Now, I want to be clear. From what I've seen, this author specifically, his name is Mokazuki.
I don't care. I know what's going on. You Nintendo fanboys will defend them for everything. I brought up a claim like, yo, how y'all got about 180, including Switch 2, and Metroid Prime ain't even eclipsing 1 million. Even though y'all waited 7 years. Oh, but Pokemon Legends sold 50% worse, but it still sold well. Regardless, Archives did better with less hardware than Legend ZA. Oh, but it's not a main line. No, but I thought y'all buy anything with a Pokemon name. I thought y'all buy anything with a Nintendo label. I thought y'all bought anything that was exclusive. So that clearly shows you that there are boundaries even with some Nintendo gamers. You guys just don't want to admit that. I know, because there's games that Nintendo has that they don't make anymore. Because why? Because people don't buy them. That's why we see Mario traveling the world, Mario trying the galaxy, Mario playing football. Now Mario's in golf. Now he's playing tennis. You know, now he's traveling the galaxy. This is why. Because you know why? Those are the only games that are selling. We know that. Even Nintendo games. That's why we don't see nothing about Star Fox and F-Zero, you big dummy. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. I've already told you guys that the Switch 2 was not doing as well. Third party have came out and told you that it's the lowest of the lowest expectations. And it is what it is, bro. You know, you guys can keep coping with them game key calls because that's all you guys got at this point. But physical media is most definitely dead for y'all. Take care, guys, and peace out.